Here we go. Yeah, so we're still in good shape here. I mean, we finished our little guy here, so he's gonna be a fine addition to our social media. All right, so let's put our guy here, and now let's do this thing here. So now, guys, I want to record this and try to make it into a video, or have somebody else maybe make it in a video. Not sure how exactly this will work, but we're gonna try it out. Okay, so now this is a pretty simple thing here that we got going on. Posted an article, if you guys don't know, on the blog, so firehobbies.com. You can go check it out. It's called the easiest yellow in the world, and it goes like this. We're gonna paint it right now. Now, obviously, if you read the article, you'll notice that this is a Primaris, and the article is not a Primaris. That's because I wrote that thing about like 9 years ago or something, but just started revisiting it, and my friend Rob asked me to make a video about this. So yeah, let's make it into a video. So we start on a base coat of orange. I think the article said something about using the Army Painter orange. The one I had now was Troll Slayer, and this one was brushed on. You can airbrush and you can spray it if you have like Tamiya makes a really nice orange spray for like cars, like Mustangs or whatever. So you can use that, use whatever. But so orange is like the new thing. You don't need an airbrush to do this technique. It's dead simple. So we're gonna start on like an orange base coat. So you can see here he's pretty much all orange. It's kind of a little bit uneven, but that's okay. And next we are gonna use white, and we are gonna use this large ass brush here. It says vehicle or terrain on it, but we don't care. We are rebels and we are not following directions. Let's get this. And now what we're gonna do here with our white, now I'm using the Army Painter matte white. I think it's the best one in the game. Maybe with Arctic white from Vallejo, but finding Vallejo is a bitch, so tough luck. We're using Army Painter. And then we are gonna dry brush the entire orange little guy with white. So now dry brushing, so we're gonna go heavy here, like really heavy, but it's still important to go like light passes, but multiple light passes until we build like a heavy coat. So that's kind of what we're after. So we're gonna make sure we wipe our brush down a lot. We can test it on the base just to be sure. Yeah, it looks like it's okay. It's not, covering up everywhere. So now we're gonna start. And we're gonna do the entire freaking thing. And you can see here it's maybe a little bit too heavy because we can still see like the brush strokes, and we really don't want that. So we're gonna wipe it some more. It's okay. Wipe it some more, yeah, I don't care. That's why we start with the top, because the top is naturally going to be lighter, so we don't care if it's maybe a little bit heavier on there. Now, as you can see, I'm using this big finesse tool here. That's how this technique works. Finesse. Ooh, Maul is not like glued on. Oops. Almost there. Almost there. Right. So now what we got going on is this guy right here, and it looks kind of chalky. Let's put it lower. There we go. All right, so now what we got here is our little guy, and it looks chalky, but it's mostly white, and then we got kind of this blend here. That's kind of started, damn it. Okay, I need a better space management here, folks. That's okay. That's okay. We're still testing. All right, there we go. Almost. Okay, there we go. That is nice and clean. Right. So we got our guy here, and now it's mostly all white at that point, right? So we can dry brush it a little bit more if we want to, like on those areas that we want more yellow. So the more white we have, the more yellow it's going to be, right? Pretty happy with this. So this you can see this is like foolproof, right? Not complex at all. And the beautiful thing about this is like now we're doing only one at a time, but like realistically, you should be doing like the whole army in one sitting and just go dry brush extravaganza like there's no tomorrow. So now once this is kind of dry, we're going to come back with Cassandra yellow, and we're just going to cover our entire model with one smooth coat. Not like a freaking savage, not like, you know, a barbarian with the Grox shade that we usually see. Just one even coat of Cassandora yellow. Cassandora yellow. So I'm trying to work in surfaces, right? So the arm. So we start with the arm. So I do the entire arm, and then we do the shoulder blade. So I try to do the entire shoulder blade before moving on to another surface, and that allows me to work while before the paint has dried. Because if the paint starts to dry and you kind of let it, it's not gonna work nice. It's just not gonna. So you really have to do every surface in like one pass almost, or one smooth, what's it called? You have to do, you know, one surface at a time, and make sure that like you do the entire surface before the wash starts to set. There we go, I said it. Because as soon as it starts to set, like the way paint dries, it always dries from the outside first. So if you start on one side and it dries, this little coat here is going to be dry, and then once you start to kind of touch it, it's just going to mess up. It's going to do these little rings, or these coffee stains that they're called, and then you really don't want that on your models because, well, they look bad. So we're going slowly here. Like, believe it or not, this is like the hardest part of this entire process. So we just have to make sure we get like one smooth coat on every surface before moving on to the next. And we also want to make sure that we stay on camera, because that's the purpose of making this this video. That's right, big science. Big science. All right. So as you can see, this is really like, this is foolproof. Like, it requires no skill, because nothing up to this like stage, there's very little control, and like dry brushing is an easy enough technique. You just have to make sure that you wipe out your brush completely, or almost completely actually, and then it's kind of does itself. It does all of the work for you, so you don't really need any brush control whatsoever. So no fine detailing or all that. Nothing really complex. You have to think. It just kind of, the paint goes where it needs to go by itself because of the techniques that we use. So this is really beginner friendly, or like it's practically a bulletproof technique, meaning you cannot mess it up. You can like try really hard, you cannot mess it up. And now, wham bam, you got a super bright yellow marine. Now, it looks kind of odd at this stage, and that's one thing that the article goes into more depth, and that is because everything is yellow. But as soon as we start to add some colors and like block off other colors, it's gonna look a million times better. So we're gonna do that in just a second here. It kind of needs time to set, but then again, I don't want to wait. So let's give. We're gonna use matte black here. We're just gonna do a couple of black details on there. I like matte black as well. Black and white, I think, are two of the stronger army painter colors versus like their like the Games Workshop or whatever other brand counterparts. I think the white and black are really solid. So we're just gonna do like the entire gun in black, just to get like some sort of contrast, just so you guys can see the difference. It's not a, yeah, that's the thing. That's not the yellow contrast, it's the shade, and it's Cassandora yellow. I'm pretty sure you could do the same thing with Eonden. I think the contrast is Eonden, the paler one, but it works really well with Cassandora yellow, which is the shade. And that's the other thing, is like this is probably the only color that makes an actual difference. So whatever orange that you pick, as long as you pick like a bright orange, and then whatever white from like whatever brand, it's not gonna matter that much. But if you try this with like a different yellow, like not Cassandora yellow, it's gonna be drastically different. Just because the Games Workshop shade work like in their own specific way that no other brand works in this exact way. So if you do the yellow tone from the Army Painter, I think it's called yellow ink, I guess, in the Vallejo range, or even the contrast, I'm pretty sure it works, but it's gonna look slightly different. and like maybe more than slightly is what I mean. So here, just by adding the gun, and you can see like nothing is, you know, done here. Just by breaking off all that yellow, we start to see just how good and simple this technique really works. Now, mind you, I'm trying not to hit anything because it is not dry. If you do, that's the other side of like doing multiple at a time, is like you don't have to wait for your paint to dry because it's gonna be dry, right? Like now I'm just doing this one dude, but if I have like 30 lined up, by the time I'm done on number 30, this guy here is gonna be dry. The article is on hellfirehobbies.com. There should be a link down in here. Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's probably a link as well. But right now, for my buddy Gigawatt, it's in the description or somewhere on this Twitch profile thing. There's the link to the website, and it should be the first article on the website right now, which is World's Easiest Yellow or something. I mean, this, like, again, this, it's not done, right? But just with the gun, stupidly good. Stupidly good looking. And we can add some more of these. Like, let's switch it up to the smaller brush here. But we can add some more of this, some of this black. Look at this. Let's do, let's say we do the trims here. So now it's kind of the part where, whoops. This is the part where you have to be careful, though, because like, it's not hard to fix, but you probably don't need to, you don't want to spend that much time, right? So it's paying off now to be careful with these extra colors that we're adding to finish up the model. There we go. Let's get this guy. I just want to get one angle where it looks like it's done, even though it's not done. Like, we know because we're not looking at it from this only one angle. I think this is the definition of keep it simple, stupid, or keep it stupidly simple. This just does the work. So you can do an insanely large army in absolutely no time, and you get a lot of contrast on it. And I mean, contrast in the terms of color and not in terms of paint pot. So I think I'm going to call it a night here for the stream. I'm really glad that I got to test it out and that I got to do all of these things. I'm glad that you guys showed up and...